I want to do is...
You know, I don't like cutting off callers like that or throwing them off the air, but, I mean, being accused of cutting them off when I got 15 seconds till break is just ridiculous, and then trying to play coy with me about what the terminology means when, you know, we've already discussed it at length, probably wasted 15 minutes on the show about it. You know, I wonder if it's the same guy calling in. He already called in twice under two names, whether that was the third time, who knows. I want to take this opportunity to thank one of my great sponsors. This is the one that gets the most jazz, the most billing, I guess, over on the YouTube, because most people think, oh, Jason Bermas is smoking. He needs to quit. Well, actually, I'm not smoking. I'm e-smoking, electronic cigarette. I usually have the e-cigarette mini in my hands, but right now I have the Hunter Thompson style original, and it's ecigaretteschoice.com. Take a look. You just lights up, and there you go. And I got to tell you that the original one does, even though it looks a little bigger and it's very trendy style, I guess, it does have a little bit better of a pull and a taste, and I know that I'm tasting the original flavor here. It tastes more like a cigarette, in my opinion. ecigaretteschoice.com. Remember, you can smoke them inside because it's not real smoke. It's water vapor. So if you're looking to catch a buzz inside of a bar or a mall, these things are legal and ready to use. If you're looking to quit smoking, yet another great tool. It's ecigaretteschoice.com. All right, let's go to our next caller. Ryan in New Hampshire, you're on the line, sir.
Good evening, Jason. How you doing, man?
I'm all right, dude.
Good. It's good to see you out there doing the show as usual. I always like to thank you because I have a little TV show here in Manchester, and I always get calls, and people are so obsessed with just being really nitpicky and really just trying to pick apart the details when they're trying to ignore the bigger issues at hand and instead just attack you personally.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't even know if the person's attacking, you know, me, or they're just kind of defending themselves. Maybe, you know, this person, you know, has thoughts about, you know, little children. I didn't want to say that on the air. I really wanted to avoid that. But, you know, what else could what other possible reason could it be to defend it so hardcore? To me, somebody who wants to have sex with a child or, you know, fantasizes about such a thing is almost as bad, if not, you know, as bad as somebody who acts on that. But, you know, it's a side issue and something I don't really want to concern myself with.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I agree. You handled it well. Sometimes it's hard not to get frustrated on air. I have that same problem. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to ask you if you're familiar with Edward G. Griffin and the creature from Jekyll Island. I'm sure you've heard about it.
Sure. I've actually had dinner with Edward G. Griffin a couple of times, and I'm actually going to try to get him as an interview in my next film, Invisible Empire, to describe the roundtable groups and the, you know, CFR Rhodes Scholar end of the New World Order control system.
Right. He does an unbelievable job in his books explaining how it started originally in great detail and also explaining how it works today. But I just wanted, for the viewers out there, or for everybody that's listening, if you haven't heard of Edward G. Griffin, you should go on Google.
It's G. Edward Griffin, by the way. Just want to let you know.
Yeah, G. Edward Griffin. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
If you go on Google and look it up, I wanted everybody to look up A World Without Cancer, because I hear a lot of callers calling in and talking about health and all that stuff.
Yeah, he really goes over IG Farben and the cancer industry, the multi-billion-dollar cancer industry, and this is a presentation from the 70s, way back in the day. I think it's 36 years old now. I think it's 73. And thank God that, you know, people like G. Edward Griffin are still with us to pass on such knowledge, because he is one of the great intellects in this country and around the world. You got anything else for me, Ryan?
Yeah, I had a quote. If you want me to wait. So
hold over. We'll go to your quote, then we'll go to Chris, Gage, Adam, Darren, and more. 866-582-9933. It's the Infowarrior. Back after these messages. Third and final hour of the Infowarrior. Let's jump to our next caller. Well, actually, no. Let's keep our caller we had before on. Ryan in New Hampshire. You said you had a quote for me?
Yeah, it's actually from Gandhi, who was he was a smart guy, and he had a really intelligent means of going about affecting change, you know, with his walk to the sea and all that kind of stuff. But the quote's really suitable for the times, because he explained how there was a 4-step process when you're trying to expose truth and affect change against whatever authority it may be. It's sort of applicable to any situation. But he said, first they ignore you, second they laugh at you, third they fight you, and then you win. And I think that's a really important thing to look at for everybody that's listening, because we have already gotten past the ignore stage, and we have also already gotten past the laughing stage. And right now we are actually engaged in the fight. And the next part is when we win. So I just wanted to point that out to everybody.
Well, thank you very much, Ryan, and that's a very optimistic view and a great quote from Gandhi. Let's go to Chris in Ohio. Chris, you're on the line, sir.
Oh, this is Chris in Florida. Yeah,
Okay.
the decisive battle has already been won, and it's just the enemies of freedom who haven't realized that, as the last caller just said. But Alex had a guest on a couple of times, at least twice that I remember, Greg Pound over here in Pinellas County, Florida. RescueMyKids.com is his site, and he talks about the ordeals of his family and other families in Pinellas County and around Florida at the hands of the child snatching pedophiles, phebophiles, pederasts, and pimps in the government, and the difference there. And I'm just I'm amazed the first caller didn't finish or make the thought. I thought he was going to explain how a phebophile is only interested in post-pubescent or pre-adult children into people, and pederast is a man who has sex with a boy, and a pedophile is someone who harms a child in any way. So, that's
all very deplorable, by the way, sir. Yes.
I didn't, I know words mean something, but it's not that the distinction needs to be made all the time. It's going to take up a lot of newsprint. And anyway, on this website, RescueMyKids.com, Greg Pound talks about this welfare worker was caught 26 times falsifying documents and put in jail, but his family is still on the run from the Child Protective Services, or DCF, Department of Children and Families, and so he's a good example of what's going on here in Florida and trying to explain. It used to be Save My Kids, now it's RescueMyKids.com. And I also wanted to make an announcement for an interview I'm going to have this upcoming Thursday on my show here in Pinellas County. It's Dr. Bob Bowman, and you can see his site at thepatriots.us, which you can find on my show site, and more information on him at liberationstation.weebly.com. Post a lot of YouTube and videos from other sites that host videos. So, liberationstation.weebly.com, and all the information's there. Thanks a lot, Jason.
You got it, Chris. Thanks for the call. Let's go to Gage in Florida. Gage, you're on the line. Yes, sir. Or was that just Gage? Oh, no, yep, you're on.
Okay. I had two questions, actually. My friend and I go back and forth on this. He wants to believe that there's, something going on, but yet he criticizes me on where I get the material from, and I tell him I get them from the site, and it's all credible.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to send them to the source. Well, we'll talk about it more on the other side. I'll hold you over. But really, send them to the source articles first. Forget about sending them to a summation over at Infowars.com. Go through the source articles yourself. Send these links and say, hey, check out these sections. And then we can discuss it further on the other side. Also, our films are mostly mainstream news articles and video clips with experts at the helm. We'll be back after this. It's the Info Warrior.